Half-Life 2 is a long-awaited follow-up to one of the great PC action games of all time. And, like a big-budget sequel, Half-Life 2 does what it sets out to do. This is an engaging and technically amazing game, and a worthy successor to Half-Life, though nowhere near as groundbreaking. The original Half-Life was released in 1998, and it was an instant classic, thanks to its cinematic gameplay and engrossing story. You played as Gordon Freeman, a theoretical physicist caught up fighting an alien invasion from another dimension. And at the end of that game, you're enlisted by the mysterious G-Man to work for him. Half-Life 2 picks up an untold number of years after Half-Life. Having been away from Earth, the G-Man deposits you back on the planet to fight the Combine, a mysterious alien force that has conquered the world. Once again, you'll don your famous hazard suit and do battle against humanity's foes, armed with a wide array of weapons, including the crowbar and the submachine gun. There are also a handful of new weapons in the game, including the powerful new gravity gun, which can be used in and out of combat, and the pteropods, otherwise known as bug bait. Pteropods allow you to lead and command vicious ant lions, which are exactly what they sound like. Like most sequels, Half-Life 2 plays it relatively safe, and it doesn't veer too far from the successful formula of Half-Life. There are a number of sequences in Half-Life 2 that feel like they're directly evolved from moments in Half-Life, and there are also moments of déjà vu at times. The combat itself is solid, and you'll battle a wide range of foes, from Combine soldiers to Striders, which are huge spider-like tanks. In between combat, you'll have plenty of puzzles to solve, many of which take advantage of the game's new physics engine. Half-Life 2 does introduce vehicles, specifically a high-speed buggy and an airboat, and these sequences offer an incredible visual rush. The game takes place in a number of interesting locales, including City 17, which is a rundown urban center where the Combine concentrates the remnants of humanity. There's also Ravenholm, which is a deserted town populated by zombies, and all sorts of crazy booby traps set by Father Grigori, a mad priest. Half-Life 2 is a stunning game to look at. Valve's new Source graphics engine is state-of-the-art, and Half-Life presents a credible and cohesive world to explore. Everything makes sense, and there's a full physics engine that ensures that people and things move like they should. Even better are the stunning new facial animations in the game. When someone talks to you, it looks incredibly convincing. To give life to these interesting characters, there's some excellent voice acting in the game, courtesy of actors like Lou Gossett Jr. and Robert Culp. Unfortunately, while Half-Life is populated by so many interesting lifelike characters, the overall story comes off as a bit disappointing. If you're the kind of person who likes questions being answered, you'll most likely be let down a bit by the end of the game, as Half-Life 2 comes off as a middle chapter in a much longer story. The game is also somewhat easy, and you can defeat most opponents without too much effort. There are some very scary foes though, not the least of which is the Ant Lion Guard, which is sort of a fearsome mother ant lion who is not too happy you've been using her children. You'll have a lot of fun while it chases you around the prison in the game. The single player of Half-Life 2 is only half the story though. When you're done with the single player campaign, you can tackle Half-Life 2's multiplayer component, which is Counter-Strike Source. An updated version of the incredibly popular multiplayer mod for the original Half-Life, CS Source upgrades the graphics with Half-Life 2's Source engine. If you missed out on Counter-Strike for the past few years, it's an extremely fast-paced multiplayer game, where terrorists and counter-terrorists battle it out in a series of rounds. Your success during a round can influence your success in later rounds, because you're given a monetary reward for your performance, which can be used to purchase better weapons and equipment. CS Source comes with updated versions of some of the most popular Counter-Strike maps, including Dust and Office. Aside from the graphical upgrade, it's essentially the same game as before though. And while it's hard to knock Counter-Strike Source, it would have been nice to have seen a multiplayer mode that takes advantage of some of the settings and weapons found in the single-player game of Half-Life 2. While it doesn't break new ground, Half-Life 2 does capture the essence of what made Half-Life great. It's a faithful sequel in that regards, though it doesn't revolutionize the genre like its predecessor did. Still, it's a compelling game with state-of-the-art visuals, and the addition of Counter-Strike Source makes Half-Life 2 a game that shouldn't be missed.